This is a video. I've just wrapped up the fireworks, which I use the fireworks textures from Bluebell. And then I put them in a bunch of programming in order to make them work inside of Unreal Engine. So let's take a look at what. First of all, I'll go ahead and play like a quick show here, and then I'll go show you kind of what the features were. So if I say light show, I got a fireworks show, and the fireworks show's also got some lights in it as well. You can mix light show and fireworks in the same file, and I'll show you that in a sec. So the fireworks will come up here pretty quick, and they'll start firing all over the place, and different colors, different types, boom, 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 boom. I may change the materials to be more sparkly, more emissive, and so on, but that's what, or maybe even let people control them. Let me show you what's going on there. Basically, the whoop, the code I have gets its input from fireworks shows or light shows, and in the last this last sprint, what I've been doing is controlling these now from a commented delimited file, so you can use Excel or Google Sheets or whatever to be able to build these shows up and control them a lot easier than you can with some kind of in-game editor would be to use. So let's look at the one we just looked at. And let me bring that over here. So here's what it is. And this is a little confusing, but it's once people get used to it, and I'll show you exactly how you build them up. Again, these were the first few in here were the actual moving head, the laser, the strobe you saw, moving head change. Then these are fireworks, and the keyword is fireworks here. And for fireworks, you put red, green, and blue parameters here, and that's what changes. And that's a red. That was a green firework. That was a green firework. That was a blue firework, and so on. You know, a yellow firework would be, red and green. So the point is that it's you control the colors by setting these in the spreadsheet. Then you can also control the firework to use, and each firework has got there's 4 firework types: firework triple, which fires 3 of them, a firework straight up, a firework that goes to the left, and a firework that goes to the right, FWR. And then there's 3 instances of those in the actual build. So if I look at the build, those are 3 instances of each of those types. And basically what these are models that represent, there you see them, F1, FWL, 1, 2, 3. And so what you do is you place in the scene just these static objects, static meshes that I've set up, and name them FWL 1, 2, 3, FWR 1, 2, 3, triple 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3. And then the spreadsheet goes ahead and says, basically it says, go find the location of FWL1 inside of there, and that's where you'll start the firework from, and then go ahead and spawn the firework in at that location. And then also it has a couple of overrides over here. You can scale it, so you can take the firework triple 1 and make it, or triple 2 and make it 0.8 the size scale. You can tilt it left or right, so I'm going to tilt it 20 degrees to the left, and you can also change the location a little bit, and I want to move it 100 centimeters to the left, which moves it a meter. So or moves it 10 meters. The point is that you can, inside of the spreadsheet, move them around a little bit, because they'll have been placed, this is for the user, right? I mean, so they're already placed in the scene, and this allows them to move them in the scene to the left and to the right instead of the park, for example. So you make those changes, and then you run the show. And what it does is, just from a coding perspective real quick, if you look at it, here's kind of what is happening inside of the level. So inside of the level here, I mean, this is all the coding right there, so there's not that much, but basically it goes in and says, hey, go find all the static mesh actors. If you find them, anyone's named these, I want you to go ahead and get their locations of those static meshes. So it finds a static mesh for FW111, which was that red little rocket I made, and named it FW111 inside of the level. And then it says it just does an event. This is just how events communicate with each other. So it says if it's read from a spreadsheet, every line that gets read from the spreadsheet executes this, and it says look at the firework type, and if the firework type was FW111, so if it was this line right here, got right in, I want you to go ahead and get the location of the static mesh, but go ahead and adjust the location based on what's in the spreadsheet. Go adjust the rotation based on what's in the spreadsheet, and that's being passed in through these parameters, and go change the scale. And then what it does is spawns out actor, spawns that blueprint that's a firework, and the firework has got in it a material instance that it passes parameters to, and those parameters it passes to it are these. It passes color. It used to pass frames per second, but I've taken that out and just made it standard. But it could pass frame per second. It could pass a visible and forward. It's inside of the material instance. And then it goes ahead and runs the new firework program. So, which is just, and all it does is just executes basically the changes to the dynamic material instance, and sets off a timer and runs a timer, and it's pretty sophisticated programming, or at least complicated. I don't know how sophisticated it is. And then inside of the material instance, which is based on these materials, it goes ahead and if I go look at the material, for example, material 1 up. So if I go look at it, again, this is a material. And this is a material that's controlled from the outside by parameters. And this is pretty cool stuff. I mean, it took me a while to figure it out. Some of the math I had to go do to make that work. But this is what plays a flip book. So it takes that texture and breaks that texture UV down and plays frame by frame by frame. And I use this instead of there's a built-in flipbook thing, but the built-in flipbook thing doesn't give you enough control to be able to really do what I want to do. And so the other things I could do is I'm already tracing the base color. I could change some other things in here as well, and I might, in terms of what to do, in terms of metallic, or I could make it look a little bit different. I could control those with parameters as well as I wanted to. So you could even maybe in the spreadsheet control, how metallic it looked, or how bright it looked, or override the intensity of how it looked by changing the emissive color and so on. So a lot I can do there. And so that I just wanted to write or do this little video to kind of wrap up the initial work I'm going to do with Fireworks. My plan going forward is to find a whole bunch more of things like the Bluebill did. Find a bunch more flip books that I could use for fireworks and explosions and fires and fire pillars and so on. And that's it working inside of I don't know,